This was easily the film that I had my eyes set on this year at the film festival, and I couldn't wait to check it out. And I got a lot of thoughts about it, and they're all positive. Yup, let's get into the review of this film right now. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel today for another review. And today we're going to be talking about the film The Disappearance of Mrs. Wu, which made its world premiere this year at the Benton Film Festival 2021. And so this film, the reason why I had my eyes set on it is because I had not seen this film across any film festival I've checked out this year. That was my first thing. And the fact that it was making its world premiere was the second thing. And then the premise of this was super interesting because of the idea that it kind of gave me feels about another film that I watched earlier this year, Swan Song, that I just truly appreciated. And I think that this film also has a lot of good messages derived from out of it. Strictly about just looking at the synopsis that a lot of people are going to be able to take away from it. It's super adventurous. And again, while there's things that you can be able to take from this film, I thought it was going to be a good time and very fun. And also there's a character type in this film that I just always love. So there's a lot of good, I'll say, green flags, because I don't know if anybody ever says that, but I'll say there's a lot of green flags or good indications that this film is actually going to be very good, and I definitely was not disappointed. So let me, because the plot is a little bit thick. If you look at the synopsis, like there's a lot of wording in it. I'm going to try to make this as simple as I can. So you have Lily, who's just the grandma of the family. She is in a nursing home, and her time is very limited on Earth. And while that is the case, the family, all of the different branches of the family is in shambles under it, as you would expect. So while she has this limited time on Earth, she wants to make sure that she goes out in the way she desires. And that happens to be something she wants to check off her list. And also that has a lot to do with repairing the family, especially her daughter and especially her granddaughter. Because as she says in this film, when it comes down to the Chinese culture, the mother-daughter relationship is the key to everything. So that's one of the, first messages that you take from this film. So before going any further in the plot here, Lily, who's played by Lisa Liu, I love the OG grandma character. The grandma who's stern, who's filled with wisdom, who could be a little comedic at times, but she's clearly not to be played with. I love this character. I've seen it in so many different projects that every time I see that character, I'm like, oh, I know I'm gonna love it. And it never fails. And it's just something about that demeanor, the mannerisms, but yet the wisdom, and regardless of the state of the grandma, whether they're wheelchair bound or bed bound or, completely mobile, it doesn't matter. You do not play with grandma. And I just love that character up and down the board. But the fact that because she has limited time and she's really looking to repair the family and to really make sure that everyone understands the roots, I thought was a really touching element to everything. So, Lily is in a nursing home and it's clearly prison to her. I mean, she said it herself. And this is not how she wants to go. She does not want to go in this jail, in a bed, isolated away from family, whatever it may be. And while she does respect her daughter's decision to put her in the best nursing home, there's still love between the two of them, whether they disagree currently or not. This is not how she wants to go. So she has her granddaughter, her best friend, and her granddaughter's best friend, basically a jailbreak. And they break her out, and grandma has one goal, and that's for her to see the beach. The beach of what beach was it? Carmel, excuse me, which is in California. And because this is where this really is where the start of her family entering the United States. All of her family stories and ties all comes back to this location. So it's really sentimental to the family. And it's something that she really wants to make sure that her granddaughter experiences and knows the truth before before her time is gone here on the earth. So with that being said, I'm pretty sure I mean there's so many other different things going on here. You got the granddaughter and her best friend, that dynamic. You got grandma and her best friend, that dynamic. You got the mother and grandmother relationship. You got all the other people in the family, and then with the granddaughter, you got the mother and the father who's passed away. There's a lot really going on in this, and like I don't want to spoil it too much because it is a very complex but really simplistic. When I say complex, it's because it's really beefy, but it is simplistic to really digest. So you will definitely be able to understand all the different things that are going on. To be frank, when it comes down to this film and like the production and everything, this feels like a Hallmark Channel movie, but with like more flavor to it. Like it has a little bit more heart. And I'll say like even the construction of the film, just if it was a Hallmark movie, it would be their premiere movie. Like that's what I mean. Like the theme and the feeling of the film feels like it belongs on a Hallmark Channel, but the production and everything is beyond what I regularly see on a Hallmark Channel, if that makes sense. But this movie is fun. It is silly, corny even at times, but totally heartfelt, especially considering that you're talking about the family and the roots and understanding the Chinese heritage, and then as things get deeper and deeper, secrets within the family, and then you just have to imagine this 18-year-old daughter, the granddaughter Emma, played by Rochelle Ying, just which she does a really authentic performance into being 18, but understanding that at 18 the shock of everything that is going on within the family and how everything is moving so rapidly, and then you're put to the ultimate test to fulfill your grandma's last wish. Like that's a lot, and at the same time she's doing it alongside of her best friend. And I don't want to give too much away about her and her best friend, but that's also a really interesting story element of the story as well. Now the biggest thing beyond just being drawn into this film by the synopsis and whatnot is I overly love the display of diversity in this film and LGBTQ plus characters, because I'm really huge in the eye of representation, which representation matters, and being able to see that more and more in cinema absolutely warms my heart. And the fact that we have such a display in this film was definitely a huge step in the right direction. So I truly appreciated that. And you will absolutely see some of the best characters in this film truly in the display of this, and I loved it. Some of my favorite scenes were filled with representation of such. So I really appreciated that. But I will say beyond that too, this film definitely is premised around being free mentally. So it definitely talks about the break of mental struggles, and just having to let go. You gotta let people do them, and let them be free, and let people, as they said, let people be them. And to completely quote what was said in the film, let me go, let me be free, let me be me. I mean, it's beautiful. It's very simple, but it's beautiful. And I think that was a really good theme to intertwine with everything that's happening in this film. But, not to ramble much longer, this is a film you definitely want to check out. The Disappearance of Mrs. Wu, again, is making its world premiere at the Bentonville Film Festival. I almost get tongue-tied there this year. This is the film you want to check out. Jump in the comments once you do. Let me know your thoughts about this film. And as always, folks, stay tuned because we got more reviews coming very soon.